this weekend as Liverpool host Tottenham Hotspur. And of course, any mistake from here on in will see the title remain at Manchester City. But what's going to happen this weekend? We're going to take a look at all of it next. Giving a prediction video today. We look forward to match day number, what is it? I don't even know, whatever it is, over in the Premier League, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button, you can bang up today. All things Premier League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Ruski. Of course, it is still Manchester City's title to lose, but of course, a monster game for Liverpool this weekend as they take on a very, very difficult Tottenham Hotspur. Conte's boys, of course, can they gift Manchester City an Uber lifeline this weekend? Of course, take a look at that and more in just a second. Of course, big shout out to my VRPs. They're the Patreons, guys. Thank you for loving, of course, Bansies. You know who you are. But anyway, let's get into it. Of course, recap the results last time around. Of course, here they are, of course, and of course Norwich City are down, that's right, of course, in the Dean Smith derby. Dean Smith couldn't do the trick over Aston Villa, 2-0 loss, and I called that one bang on the nose. Meanwhile, Everton with a shock 1-0 win over Chelsea to give themselves a monster push down the front of the table, and it looks like we've got another team in that cluster there who could be going down. Southampton with a 2-1 win, a 2-1 loss against Crystal Palace. Of course, Palace moving up to 12th in the table. Watford again, despite taking the lead, 2-1 loss to Burnley. They're on the cusps of going down with the Canaries as well. Meanwhile, Leeds United are in trouble, 4-0 loss to Manchester City. Of course, wow, indeed. Manchester United with a big 3-0 win over Brentford. Newcastle kept Liverpool at bay with a 1-0 loss in the end, though. Big win for Liverpool. A very difficult match as well. Spurs 3-1 over Leicester. Of course, West Ham with a 2-1 loss to Arsenal as well. And Wolves 3-0 loss as well to Brighton. Some big away wins there. This campaign, let's take a look at the table then, shall we? Here it is, I believe. That's right. Of course, Liverpool are just 1 point adrift of Manchester City. The teams are pretty much neck and neck. What's going to happen? Is there any more twists in the table? Of course, Liverpool have actually lost one game less than Manchester City, but of course, right now, still 1 point adrift as well. Meanwhile, Arsenal can actually leapfrog Chelsea into third and actually put Chelsea in a bit of bother if they were to have a bit of a panic station towards back in the game. Meanwhile, Manchester United are in sixth, and it looks like the top four race is pretty much done with 5 points adrift of Arsenal with only 6 points on the offering as well. Meanwhile, Norwich are down. Watford are going to probably join them. It looks like it's just a formality, I would imagine. With Everton, Leeds, and Burnley, I would think, in that race for that to avoid that last spot. And as it stands, I would probably put Leeds as favourites to go down when you look at their record and who they're going to go up against as well. But anyways, take a look at, of course, who did well. Actually, these guys did well. Max Sangardi, Ibn Hussein, and Champ Dude picking up 8 points, of course, this past week. So well done to you guys. What about, of course, the mini leaderboard? Now, this is from January onwards. Who's had a really good second half campaign? It's actually been Ibn Hussein with 88 points in the second half of the campaign, with Max Sangardi 85 and Hans Wurst up there in bronze, of course. What about, of course, who won the predictor of the month for the month of April? So the predictor of the month is the person or the persons that accumulate the most points in the month of April. And of course, if you are that person, you will go into the Wall of Fame. And if you're in the Wall of Fame, you can actually get yourself a prize at the end of the season by way of a draw. Well, the winner or winners are Max Sangardi, of course, kicking ass and taking aim. He gets his name on the board for just the second time, of course, in a very, very spicy, competitive-looking Wall of Fame. Familiar names in there from across the other leagues. So who's going to be coming out victorious at the end? Well, we'll see all about that later on as well. Let's take a look at, of course, the winner at the moment, leading the charge in the master predicting leaderboard. This is, of course, from the start of the season, and it is Max Sangardi as well. 175 points clear of Iman Hussein as well, with Master Fighter 10 points adrift in third, alongside Nadagem and Shane O'Donnell. That's, of course, a very, very tightly. It's not over yet, but of course he does in the driving seat. 5 points is a good lead, but it is catchable with, what are we looking at? 30 points, something like that. I don't know what's still on the offering, but again, still to be decided. Still lots of twists and turns, I would imagine, in that, of course. Anyway, cut the Force Premier League. If you want to get involved, it is free to enter, of course, but these are the games we're going to take a look at. In the Claret and Blue Derby, it's Burnley up against Aston Villa. Of course, Stevie Gerrard, do us a favour, mate. Do us a bloody favour. Of course, locking horns over at Turdmore. That's right. Played 11 times 2004. 3 wins to Burnley, 4 wins to Aston Villa, and 4 draws. Of course, just 1 defeat, though, the past 6 games for Burnley right now. 75% form for them. Against the Aston Villa side, just 1 win in 6. 25% form for them heading into this match as well. Last round over at Turdmore, it was a 3-2 win for Burnley back in January 2021. Of course, they've not played each other at Villa Park. That's of course, another game right around the corner. So they're going to be playing each other twice in quick succession as well. So Burnley comes in on the back of that 2-1 win over Watford. Villa with a 2-0 win over Norwich. Back-to-back clean sheets for them heading into this match as well. The odds for this one, 90-10 is your Burnley, 11-8 is your Aston Villa, 23-10 is your draw. Danny Ings, the Danny Ings derby. Can he, of course, he scored the goal. That, of course, will put Burnley in trouble. I think no. I think a draw here, 1-1 in the end, which might be good enough for Burnley. And, of course, keep Michael Jackson in, of course, the prime hot seat to remain as manager next season. Leicester City up against Everton, of course. I don't want Leeds to go down. Please send one of these clowns down. Of course, 34 times they pitches at 1994, 9 wins to Leicester, 10 wins to Everton, and 15 draws, of course. Just 1 win and 6 for Leicester right now, 42% form for them. Up against the Everton side, just 1 defeat past 4 for them, 42% form heading into this match as well. Of course, Leicester have got a bit of a distraction on the horizon up against Mourinho in, of course, Europa League, Conference League, whatever you call it. Of course, last time finished over at the King Power, it was a 2-2 win for Everton back in December 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, at Goodison Park was a 1-1 draw back in April as well. In fact, Everton unbeaten against Leicester over the last 4 occasions, picking up a couple of wins and a couple of draws. Meanwhile, Leicester did lose to Spurs last time round, and Everton with a 1-0 win over Chelsea last time round as well. Look at the odds for this one then, shall we? Leicester 11-8 for the victory, 2-1 is your away with us, Everton, and 12-5 is your draw. Of course, Everton do come into this in the drop zone, so they need some more results. And of course, and this could be a tight one. Getting over 2-1 win for Leicester here, which should put remain Everton in the drop zone moving forward. Next, of course, over Arsenal up against Leeds, of course, who are Arsenal pushing for top 4. Leeds trying to avoid the bottom 3. Now, played 31 times in 1983, 19 wins for Arsenal, 7 wins for Leeds, and we've got 5 draws as well. Arsenal winning 3 in the bounce, 50% form for them over the last 6 up against the Leeds side. Just 1 defeat past 6, 67% form for them heading into this. Of course, the last match was against Manchester City. Can they raise the game, though, against Arsenal at the Emirates? Last time around, of course, over at the Emirates was a 4-2 win for Arsenal. That was back in February 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, a 4-1 win for Arsenal at Ellen Road back in December 2021. They also played each other in the EFL Cup, the League Cup, Carabao Cup, whatever you want to call it. It was a 2-0 win for Arsenal at the Emirates back in October. Arsenal picking up a 4-0 loss against Leeds. 1-2 back-to-back games now without a goal for them. Up against the Arsenal side, picking up a 2-1 win over West Ham. Big results, of course, for Arsenal over the last 3. Beating Chelsea, beating United, and, of course, beating West Ham. Those are all contenders for Europe in one way or another. Of course, Arsenal with a 29 on for their victory. Of course, 7-2 is your draw. 61 is your long shot. That's Leeds. You're going to back Arsenal here, aren't you? They're going to make it 4 wins on the bounce. 3-0 for them. They've done great, haven't they, with the team that they've got. Of course, maybe next season they could maybe compete a little bit stronger, maybe for higher honours. That's what I say. I'm not going to say title race, but of course they could be a regular contenders for top 4 if they can strengthen a little bit. Next, of course, Brighton. They're going to be taking on, where are you? Brighton taking on Manchester United over the Amex, of course, coming at you on Saturday, May the 7th. Be with you now. They played each other 11 times, 2017, 2 wins for Brighton, 9 wins for Manchester United, and 0 draws, of course. 1 defeated past 6 for Brighton right now. They've clicked into gear at the right time. 67% form for them. Up against the Manchester United side, just 1 win of 5. 1 win of 4 for them. 42% form heading into this match as well. Last time around, of course, over at the Amex in the league, it was a 3-2 win for Manchester United back in, of course, September 2020. A reverse fixture, of course, at Old Trafford was a 2-0 win for Manchester United back in February 2022. Man United picking up 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 6 wins on the bounce against Brighton. They like playing them, so I don't fear anything for them on this one. Next, of course, Manchester United picking up a 3-0 win over Brentford. Of course, Brighton with a 3-0 win over Wolves last time around. The odds for this one, though, what we got going on here? We've got Brighton a 7-4 for the victory, 29-20 is your Manchester United, and 5-2 is your draw. If they have any realistic hope left for top 4, focus, of course, it would be they must need a win. I'm on something special going on. Going to go with a win. Of course, Man United 2-1 win for them, but again, I think it's too far, especially with Arsenal beating Leeds again this coming weekend. Manchester City against Newcastle. Of course, Newcastle gave Liverpool a run for their money, but of course they didn't win. But can Newcastle prove to be the party poopers in this? They've been resolute, haven't they? Newcastle over the last few games, of course. Anyway, they played each other 46 times. These two sides, 694, 29 wins for Manchester City, 9 wins for Newcastle, and 8 draws. Of course, Man City winning 4 on the bounce, 75% form for them. Of course, up against the Newcastle side, just 1 defeat past 5, 67% form for them heading into this match as well. Of course, Manchester City with a bit of a distraction on the horizon as well, taking on Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final, second leg. Of course, must-win game for them, so maybe they'll strengthen or prioritise that. Of course, this game will be shortly after that game, though. Of course, last time around over at the FEI was 2-0 win for Manchester City back in December 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, at St James's Park was a 4-0 win for City back in December 2021. Meanwhile, City, of course, with a 4-0 win over Leeds, and of course, Newcastle with a 1-0 loss against Liverpool last night. On the odds for this one, though, we've got Manchester City 61 on for the victory, 11-2 is your hosts. Sorry, 11-2 is your draw. 60-1 is your long shots. That's, of course, Newcastle here. I'm going with the 3-0 win for City. I'd love it. I'd love it. I'd love it if they beat them. Newcastle beat Manchester City, but I don't see it happening, unfortunately. But it could. It could. This is a bit of a sticky one heading into this game as well. Brentford up against Southampton, of course, coming at you at the Community Stadium as well. Locking horns on, where are you? On the Saturday, May the 7th. Now, these two sides have played to the goal in my eyes. 10 times 2005, 2 wins for Brentford, 4 wins for Southampton, and 4 draws. Just one defeated pass, 5 for Brentford right now, 58% form. Because of the Southampton side, just 1 win and 6, 33% form for them heading into this match as well. Last round, of course, over at Brentford in the league. It was a 3-0 win for Southampton back in April 2011. That was in League One. My oh my. Meanwhile, the reverse fixture, of course, at St Mary's was a 4-1 win for Southampton back in January 2022. Southampton picked up a 2-1 loss against Crystal Palace, with Brentford losing to Manchester United 3-0 last round. Back-to-back clean sheet, back-to-back goalless affairs for Brentford. They need a goal and they need one fast. Of course, the odds here: 6-5 is your Brentford, 21-10 is your Southampton, 12-5 is your. I'm back in Brentford here with a 1-win for them, a clean sheet to boot, and of course moving the chains once again. And into the final stretches now we go. We have got the zinger for the weekend. It is Liverpool up against Spurs coming at you on Saturday, May the 7th. Now these two sides have played each other 62 times in 1983, 31 wins for Liverpool, 14 wins for Spurs, and 17 draws. Of course, Liverpool winning 5 of them out, so of course 92% form for them. Up against the Spurs side, just 1 defeat past 6, 75% form heading into this match as well. Last round, of course, over at Anfield was a 2-1 win for Liverpool back in December 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, at the Spurs Fancy Pants Stadium was a 2-2 draw back in December 2021. Liverpool unbeaten against Spurs over the last 6, picking up 5 wins and just 1 draw. 1 draw was, of course, the last match at Spurs as well. Liverpool with a 1-0 win over Newcastle, back-to-back clean sheets for them. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4 clean sheets, of course, and also Villarreal this week as well. Meanwhile, Leicester City did lose to Spurs last round, of course, this past match as well. Coming at you, the odds: 94 on is your Liverpool, 41 is your draw, 11-2 is your away. Spurs can compete here. They'll be in this game. They'll make it a hard work for Liverpool, but I do think Liverpool will have the edge in the end. 2-1 win for them, and again, getting over the hurdle, keeping up the heat. They're not in the. They're not in. They need a little helping hand elsewhere, don't they? But I think Liverpool will do their bit on Saturday. If they were to hiccup, then Manchester City will have a clean shot at it on Sunday. Next, of course, we have Crystal Palace up against Watford at Selhurst Park. Now, these two sides have played to the corner of my eyes 48 times in 1983, 21 wins for Palace, 16 wins for Watford, 11 draws. Of course, just 1 win and 5 there for Palace right now, 42% form up against a Watford side who've lost 5 of them out, 17% form for them heading into this match as well. Last round over at Selhurst Park was a 1-0 win for Palace back in March 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, a 4-1 win for Palace at Vicarage Road back in February 2022. They also played each other this campaign, this season, way back in round 2 of the EFL Cup. Was a 1-0 win for Watford at Vicarage Road back in August as well. Watford with a 2-1 loss against Burnley. Of course, Palace with a 2-1 win over Southampton last time around. The odds for this one: 20-13 on is your Palace, 3-1 is your draw, 15-4 is your Watford on this one. Last chance saloon, I think, for Watford. They need to win this game. I don't see it happening. They're 1-0 a loss to them. Big win for Crystal Palace. That will relegate Watford. They'll go down with the Canaries to the Championship once again. Norwich up against West Ham United. Of course, coming at you at Carrow Road. Maybe the pressure will be off the Norwich down. Maybe they'll raise their game up against the West Ham side who need some results as well. A big week for them as well over in Europe. Played each other 19 times since 1993, 2 wins for Norwich, 9 wins for West Ham, and 8 draws at the moment. Meanwhile, Norwich just 1 win and 6 for them, 25% form for Dean Smith's Boys. Up against West Ham side, just 1 win and 6, also 25% form for them as they've hit the skids at the wrong time. Meanwhile, last round at Carrow Road was a 4-0 win for West Ham back in July 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, down at London Road, or London Stadium, was a 2-0 win for West Ham back in January as well. West Ham picking up 3 clean sheets on the bounce, 3 wins on the bounce against Norwich. Unbeaten as well over the last 6, picking up 4 wins and 2 draws. Meanwhile, West Ham with a 2-1 loss against Arsenal. Of course, Norwich with a 2-0 loss against Aston Villa last time round. They haven't scored a goal in back-to-back games as well. The odds for this one, though: we've got Norwich 10-3 for the victory, 4-3 on is your West Ham, 11-4 is your draw back at West Ham with a 2-1 win, tight win, but of course at 3 points, none the same in the end. And then wrap it up with Chelsea up against Wolves, of course, at Stamford Bridge. Of course, now these two sides played 17 times, 3, 11 wins to Chelsea, 3 for Wolves, and 3 draws, of course. Just 1 win and 4 though for Chelsea right now, 58% form up against the Wolves side, just 1 win and 5 for them, 53% form heading into this match as well. Last round, of course, over at Stamford Bridge was a 0-0 draw back in January 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, at Molineux this campaign back in December was also a 0-0 draw. In fact, Wolves unbeaten against Chelsea over the last 3, pick up 1 win and a couple of draws. Just 1 goal conceded by Wolves as well over the last 3 heading into this match. But Wolves though pick up a 3-0 loss against Brighton. Of course, I haven't scored a goal in the last 3 games. Good for me. Up against Chelsea side, we did lose to Everton in the Frank Lampard derby as well. Kicking on forward though, the odds for this one: 11-4 on is your Chelsea, 7-2 is your draw, 7-2 is your Wolves on this. 2-0 in the end for Chelsea to take it to the house, and of course taking the 3 points as well on at home for this one. That's of course my take. Be sure to get your own take as well. Colourful Premier League, get your name in lights, free to enter and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you smash the subscribe, of course, thumbs up as well. It does wonders for the algorithm, does wonders for the channel, and of course gets you content just like this. But that's it, guys. That is it. Until then, boys, we'll see you soon for the next one. Until then, be safe out there, and of course, hit the subscribe button. Until then, boys, we're done right now.